Hank Williams was dead at 29. Just 29 years old. And in that short life, he wrote songs so true and raw that people are still crying to them 70 years later. So here's a question worth sitting with. What would Hank Williams be writing about right now? Here's the thing, Hank didn't write about the 1950s. He wrote about people. Lonely people, hurting people, working people who couldn't catch a break. And if you look around at America today, those people are still here. We are those people. So we wondered, if Hank were alive right now, what songs would he be writing? We've got 5 titles, and by the time we get to number 3, you might just feel like he never left. Stick around because number 5 just might be the most Hank Williams thing ever written about the modern world. Before we get to the songs, you need to understand who this man was. Hank Williams grew up dirt poor in rural Alabama. No silver spoon, no connections, no easy road. He had a painful spinal condition that would follow him his whole life. And by the time he was a teenager, he was playing bars and honky-tonks just to help his family get by. But something happened when Hank picked up a guitar and opened his mouth. Every person in the room felt like he was singing directly to them. That's not a common gift. That's a rare one. He didn't dress up his pain. He didn't hide it behind fancy words. He just told the truth plainly, simply, and so directly it hit you right in the chest. That's why his music is legendary. And that's exactly why, if he were sitting on a porch somewhere in America today, he'd have more to write about than ever. The first song Hank would write today? We'd call it Swiping Left on a Broken Heart. I mean, think about it. Hank wrote Your Cheatin' Heart about a woman who did him wrong. But back then, you at least had to look someone in the eye to let them down. Today, a person can disappear with the tap of a finger. No phone call, no explanation. Just gone. That cold, silent rejection Hank would have felt that deep. And he would have written something about it that made you laugh and cry at the exact same time. Now the second song, this one's a little sadder. Honky Tonk in a Ghost Town. Hank's whole world was built around places where working folks gathered at the end of a long week. A cold drink, a jukebox, maybe a slow dance with someone you loved. Those places are closing down all across America. Local bars are going out of business. Small towns are hollowing out. And the music that brought people together is now just an algorithm on a phone. Hank would have mourned that. He would have written about it the way you would write about a good friend you just buried. Now, here's where it gets personal. Song number 3 would be Lord, I Can't Afford No Doctor. You know, Hank Williams spent most of his life in physical pain, and he spent most of that time without the kind of care he needed. He self-medicated, he struggled, he suffered in ways that never should have happened to anyone. If he were alive today, he would look at the cost of prescription drugs, the cost of a hospital visit, the people who are forced to choose between medicine and groceries. And Hank would write that song immediately. Because he never wrote for the elite. Hank wrote for the person who was just barely holding on. And that person is still out there, still holding on, still waiting for someone to say what they're going through out loud. Song number 4 takes us out on the open road. 18 wheels and nowhere to go. Hank wrote for the drifters, for the men who couldn't sit still, for the people who felt like they were always moving but never arriving. Now imagine a truck driver today, someone who's spent 30 years behind the wheel. Driving is their identity. That's how they feed their family. That's what they're proud of. And now they're reading headlines about self-driving trucks, about a future where their job might not exist. That's not just an economic story. That's a loneliness story. That's a who am I if I can't do the one thing I know how to do story. And that is exactly the kind of story Hank Williams built his whole career on. He would have found that trucker, he would have sat down with him, and he would have written a ballad that made that man feel seen for the first time in a long time. Get ready, because we've saved the best one for last. And honestly, this one might be the most Hank Williams thing we've come up with. In 1949, Hank Williams recorded a song called "I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry." It's been called one of the greatest songs ever written in any genre. And the reason is simple. It described a feeling that people couldn't quite put into words, that deep, hollow loneliness that hits you even when there's nothing visibly wrong. So our fifth and final song title? I'm So Lonesome I Could Scroll. Because right now, there are millions of people, and a lot of them are watching a video just like this one, who are more connected than any human beings in history. We've got phones, we've got social media, we've got instant access to everyone we've ever known. Yet somehow, people have never felt more alone. You can have 500 friends online but not have a single person to call when things fall apart. Hank Williams understood that the noise of the world can make the silence inside you even louder. He knew it in 1949. And if he were here today, he'd look at all of us staring at our little glowing screens. And he'd nod. And he'd say, "Yep, I've got a song for that." That's what made Hank Williams immortal. Not the era he lived in, not the specific details of his stories, but the truth underneath them. The truth that people hurt. People get left behind. People work hard and still can't win. And sometimes, the only thing that makes it bearable is knowing that somebody else felt it too, and had the courage to sing about it. 70 years gone, and Hank is still doing that. That's not nostalgia. That's legend. Now we want to hear from you. If Hank Williams were alive today, what do you think he'd be writing about? Drop those song titles in the comments. And if this video got you thinking about the bold artists who told the truth when nobody else dared, you're gonna want to watch our other videos. We feature videos all about classic country music, and we drop new videos weekly. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see y'all next time.
Something